Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist is about a young woman who suddenly is able to hear people's thoughts, and she can hear their thoughts through extravagant musical numbers. Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist is about a young woman with an extraordinary gift. She can hear people's innermost feelings and desires, heartaches, and yearnings, love, through song. We meet Zoey, a young woman in San Francisco. She's a coder, very smart, in a hard time in her life. She is in the process of grieving her father. He has not passed away. However, he has a life-threatening disease. And during this moment in her life, she also survives an earthquake while in an MRI machine, and her brain gets jumbled up, and suddenly she gets a superpower in which she can hear people's innermost thoughts, feelings, dreams, desires, heartaches, love. It's very hard to put our show into a box. You could say it's a musical, but it's more than that. And you could say it's a drama, but it's also a comedy. We're serving everything. Zoey is a very unique person, and I feel very lucky to get to play her. And I get to do all sorts of things as Zoey. I have a superpower. I get to do farcical comedy. I get to do like rooted real character drama. And I get to work with some incredible artists on this show, singers and dancers. And I'm having the time of my life. Music is the language for everyone, and music brings us all together because we all suffer heartbreak. We all have a lot of love in our hearts. And so I guess I would say one of the main themes is empathy. When I watch the show, I really just feel a sense of warm-heartedness. And I'm really proud to be a part of that. I think it's a pretty fun setup to have Zoey's guide along this journey be her neighbor that she actually didn't even have a relationship with. Or if she did have a relationship with, it was not very positive. But this musical ability, this ability to read minds, brings Zoey close with her neighbor Mo. And Mo almost becomes like an oracle. And I love working with Alex Newell, who plays Mo. Alex and Mo are larger than life. I look at Alex when I work with him, and I look in his eyes, and I just I've become a puddle. I'm so deeply in love with him. I think that Zoey and Mo are a pretty cute duo. Lauren and I are friends outside of the show, and I thought Lauren Graham would be really good at this boss part. And I remember having a conversation with her before that was even a conversation here, and I was like, would you be willing to do that? Anyways, God gave us a gift that we got Lauren Graham. I am such a big fan of hers as an actor and as a person, and working with her is so much fun. She's so funny, and yeah, I just feel so lucky that we get her in our world. There is a love triangle in our story between Zoey and Max and Simon. I'm going to be curious to see who in my family, when they watch the show, are Team Max, or who's Team Simon, or which of my friends are Team who. I have a secret team. I won't share. We really have a little bit of everything. I think it's a perfect Sunday night show because I do see families watching this together before kids have to go to sleep. I think that young women my age will love this show. I could see people a lot older than me loving this show. I I think we have something for everyone. Like I said before, music is the universal language, and we have such good songs. I think people are going to love this show because it will make you laugh and it will make you cry, and it'll just be so entertaining. I think that, music is a universal language, and so I think across the world, people will connect to these characters and the stories that we're telling. I have gotten to do everything an actor ever can do in one show. It's been really wild learning how to sing. I didn't know how to sing before this. I mean, I spent all summer going to singing lessons. I'm never really professionally danced in anything. So for me, I just jumped in and off the train went. It's still going. I'm still holding on.
Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist is a high-concept series about Zoey, who can hear people's heart songs, meaning she hears what you feel rather than everything else, but you just hear what they think. Mo is the conscience of Zoey, leading her through her musical journey. Mo wakes up in the morning, looks at Mo in the mirror and says, "God, you're stunning." Then Mo gets ready for the day and then is interrupted by Zoey, which is a nuisance. That's from the pilot. And then as we go through, Mo's still annoyed by Zoey just bursting in or helping Zoey or calling first thing in the morning and sees it more endearing. And Mo still will wake up each morning saying, "Oh, you're stunning." So Mo is the conscious and guiding Zoey, and I think there's so much heart with that because Zoey is so closed off to the world, and Zoey's type A and sees things this way and that way, rather than seeing the positivity and the effervescence that life has to bring. I think Mo understands how to live life to the fullest, and Zoey's like, I view things in the scientific way rather than just living. Zoey gets her power by, she's scared she is getting sick like her father, and she goes to get an MRI to check things out, and an earthquake happens, and it's like the computer uploads all of the songs into her head from everywhere. That's Pandora and Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. She's an Alexa, to be honest with you. I was very excited to get cast in this role. I am Mo. I love everything about Mo. Mo is me. It's being driven by what music is and understanding what songs mean and that they're that extension of to who you are. Music and lyrics will play such a big role in this show because sometimes words aren't enough that you say, and somehow somebody wrote the lyrics that are perfect for the situation. And so when your heart sings, as we have on this show, those words are always so perfect. They're big numbers. I mean, the opening number to our series introducing Zoey to her new ability is so big and boisterous and loud, and there's people flipping and running and jumping. And that's just the first episode. There's so many more things to come and happen. I think this show will appeal to international audience because music brings people together, no matter what form it is. Something that we sing or something that we dance to or something that they're going to see or everybody's going to see is going to be relatable in a way. One thing that I'm really excited for people to see from the first episode is the heart that's there. I feel we always forget to add heart to things. And in our time right now that we're currently in, we need more heart and we need more soul and passion behind things rather than something that'll just make us chuckle. I imagine learning a new song each episode must be hard. Baby, I don't sing a lot in the series, but when I do, ooh, just you wait. But it is hard. Learning singing, dancing, acting in front of camera is very hard. I'm fortunate enough that I've already done it, darling. But it can be nerve-wracking. I swear, you never know what you need when you're in rehearsals, and you never know the adrenaline that's going to pump through you until you're in front of the camera for real, because you can do anything in the studio. You can mess up it as many times as you want to, but once you see the camera and they say action and they say playback, honey, it's a whole different thing. Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist is musical, lovely, and fun. Hey, that's a good one. This show feels so real to us because we know the origin of it. We know where it's coming from. It's not like someone just pulled an idea out of their head. They lived through it. Astin lived through this. And I think that speaks volumes because it gravitates and pulls people that want to be a part of it rather than need to be a part of it. Working with this cast, it is absolutely insane. I mean, Oscar winner Mary Steenburgen, come on. Peter Gallagher is beyond. He's still just as handsome. And Emmy winning Lauren Graham. I mean, I had to rewatch Gilmore Girls just because I knew I was working with her. So there's that. It's a star-studded cast, but more than that, they're all so talented, and it's so fun sitting back and watching them all do a musical television show for the very first time and learn new things about themselves, because it shows me that there's still so much that I can learn as well.
Zoey, the titular character, has two big conflicts. She has work conflicts going on, moving up through the workplace as a woman, and she has a home conflict going on with her father having a degenerating brain illness. So he's pretty much catatonic and in a coma at the beginning of the show. There's something she's afraid of the same thing happening to her, so she goes and has an MRI. Some funky stuff happens, and then when the funky stuff happens, she gets this ability. And this ability allows her to hear people's inner thoughts, their emotions. We call them heart songs. And the show follows Zoey through these two conflicts as she listens to people's heart songs that are around her, and she evolves as a person as this goes on as well. So that's basically what's going on. Simon is the director at marketing at Spark Point, where Zoey works. His heart song is one that connects with Zoey because he lost his father 4 months before the show begins. And so when she hears his heart song, it's one of grief. And they connect through this grief and help each other through this process of her losing her father. It gets a little trepidatious because other things happen as well, but that's the big thing. I was excited to be cast in this role because I lost my father over a decade ago. And when I read the pilot, and I saw that Simon was going to sing this song that he sings in the pilot, it made me feel like I had an opportunity to connect with my father in a way that is very special and moving to me. So I felt like it was a big gift to be able to play Simon. Also, to be in the beginning of someone's process of processing grief, I think that was another gift, you know? The conceit of the show, I think, also, it lets us into the inner worlds of all these characters, and Simon being a man, her being able to see his emotional life, is something very important to me as well. I think it's important that we encourage all of us to be more vulnerable and authentic with one another, and that's a gift that I get to do in the show. I think audiences will relate to the show because there's someone for everyone. When I read the pilot even, I noticed and recognized all the characters, their energies, what their songs were and why. They reminded me of my friends, my mother. They reminded me of my family, and I think that is universal. I think they'll be connected to Simon because we've all lost someone. A lot of us have, and if we haven't lost someone, we will. You know, and it's a process that we can't run away from, but it's also something that the show allows us to find. The show allows us to find community in the grief, you know, which is a beautiful thing. I think this will appeal to international audiences for the same reasons as before, because of connection. I think music also transcends culture in every way. And when you talk about, oh man, just the conceit of the show, when you talk about a heart song, people of every nationality, every culture, no matter where you are, has a heart song in every moment, you know? And I think when we peel back the layers and see that, it becomes something really magical. So that's what I think they'll buy into and love. Music and lyrics in the show are a conduit for change, the conduit for connection. They're the bridge between people, you know? And even though in the moment they may have their face that they put up for the world, music is the thing that communicates their truth. And so I think that music and lyrics are the truth in the show, and that's beautiful. We get to work with Mandy Moore, incredible choreographer, like just an amazing human being. And we get to explore our bodies. We get to explore the way that we communicate story and emotion with our bodies every single time we get into the dance studio, every single time we get into the recording room, and when we're on set shooting. You know, it's a very collaborative and beautiful process. We get to have these massive group numbers where we like run down the street, and the heart songs are not only these intimate one-to-one songs, they become these massive ballads, these huge numbers. People sing in ways of very Shakespearean in a way. They get to sing their love to the rafters. Think about the times that you've fallen in love, right? The times if you've fallen in love, you know, the times I've been in love, right? And it feels like my heart is going to explode out of my chest, but I have my face on like I'm never gonna show this person this because it's not the time yet. We get to see that part of everything, which is that's magical, I think.
There's so much about this show that just kind of reminded me what I ever liked about being an actor, and it just felt so kind of fresh, and it is sort of high concept, but also if you're a musical theater lover, people just burst into song, and that's fine. And Jane is a dear friend. That was kind of really the like sealed the deal of, you know, what I thought would be fun. Also, I haven't played a boss in so long. I've just been like people with plaid shirts and, you know, and like kind of fun mom. And so it was just a chance to do something different. It's just so much fun to just kind of do things you'd never get to do. I am Zoe's boss, and I run this tech company, and that's as much as I could know about computers. And I just, you know, try to fill in the blanks in my imagination because I know very little about Silicon Valley. But I think we're linked in that we are rare women in this world, and I personally, my character is going through kind of a rough time, but I have just wanted, as their relationship evolves, ultimately she's there to support Zoey. She's hard on her at times, but it's only because she knows how hard it can be in this environment. She wants her to do well. It's ever evolving, but basically the premise starts that Zoey hears people's true thoughts in song. So she might hear that the boy has a crush on her. She might hear that her boss is actually suffering more than she's let on, but she hears their truth. And it's outside of our awareness. Nobody knows that they're singing and dancing, only she sees that. She's hearing the truth of what they are thinking and feeling, and then she's sort of takes it upon herself to help them. Jane is incredible, and I don't know that anyone knew exactly how lucky they were. I mean, when I was coming up in trying to be in the theater, they always talked about the need to be a triple threat, to sing, dance, and act, which kind of, unless you're performing in musical theater, you don't really have to have all those things to be a TV star. But Jane happens to have all those things. She's an incredible dancer. She made me go to this Zumba class that she goes to. I could barely follow it. She is a really natural, beautiful singer, and she's beautiful, and she's a wonderful actor. And it feels to me like you know, and you don't get many of these if you even get one. Honestly, the part that was meant for her, you know, that I can't imagine who else could do it so well. And she really shines. She's really incredible. It's just really embarrassing to try to be like, oh yeah, I'm a singer, when there are these ridiculous singers on this show, and Skylar is one of them. I mean, and it seems so effortless. That's what really makes me want to murder him, because he's like, oh, you mean this? Opera, like it. And Alex Newell, the same. Michael Grant, the same. Jon Stewart, beautiful voice. I mean, they're just incredible, and they're all like 25 years old. It's really astonishing. This show, in Peter's character, in Mary's character, is the what if you know, you could hear the truth of what someone wanted to say to you. It's really beautiful, and the stuff with the family is so moving. Obviously comes from a really personal place, but he's extended that to all the characters. You know, what if you could hear what somebody's really thinking? I think anytime you have something that's truly inventive and original, it translates. And the aspect of these songs being popular songs is really fun. The dancing's really fun, and you don't need to be American to enjoy this incredible choreography. So yeah, I can see it doing well in many different countries. This just felt like a real opportunity to be with my friend, to do something I hadn't gotten to do in a long time, and to be part of a show that I genuinely think is really special. It's really happy. It's like a really happy place to visit, you know, and it's really positive, and it's about kind of how we express ourselves and love and family, and you know, I just find there's not a message per se, but I just find the world that is Zoey's playlist is very happy and uplifting. There's a great responsibility, you know, having such insight into the lives of others, and a burden that can come with that, especially when it involves her own personal life. But I don't think we've gotten yet to I don't think all has been revealed just yet.
Where is the buzz?
Oh, yeah.
Where is the buzz? You said
We used to be
was
a singer
mine,
group.
oh, mine.
Where is the buzz?
Ooh.